Okay, good morning, black women. All right, listen, y'all. I've been having a chuckle it up time watching these videos and laughing my ass off about why black men don't go to college and listening to all the excuses. Fucking hilarious. But let me talk to you about something real for a minute. Even though the residual is making me laugh still. No, it's serious, right? The reason education is under attack, y'all, is because Trump, white folks who are racist, and they need, right, to have free labor or low cost labor and people to be as dummied down as possible. They see that black women going to college is a reason why we are like the most educated people in this country right now. They're not stupid. Like all studies about demographics, socioeconomics, etc., right? Projection into the future for their working class, making sure corporations have ample bodies to do the work, employers, blah, 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 is based off of your citizens or your body of laborers being stupid as fuck and not having as many options to avoid the traps. So they think, and they're wrong, and they're going to find it out, right? That if they take away education, they're basically trying to take it away from black women, right? Because if we're smart and we're the mothers of the children, and they see we're not having kids, and black women and young girls keep that shit up, because when you don't have kids, you get educated, you do well in life, you're living a good life, you're out of poverty. That's the key. Do you understand me? When you are out of poverty, they cannot control the masses the way they can control you when you're poor, broken, and destitute, and always in need of service. What happens is life as we know it changes. Poverty goes down, crime goes down, the dysfunction of people in general goes down. Think about what I'm saying. If you have an educated mother, more likely your children are going to go to school, they're going to go to college, they're going to be contributing members to society, they're going to have a higher functioning level of mentality, they're not going to be these always looking to blame somebody else, black males running around bashing people in the head, trying to play stick up kids and etc., right? And the women will not be the women that have low self-esteem, overly black male worshiping, believing in patriarchy, overly exercising their internal misogyny, and they will just believe in, it's a thing called self-efficacy, right? That's like reaching your highest self, where you want to become the best version of you possible. When you have education, that unlocks all of the ignorance. It knocks out a lot of the barriers. You don't have as many obstacles in life. They know this. So this is why they need to dummy down all of America to maintain their wealth, maintain their control. Never forget, they're operating off of white fragility. They know all of the horrible things they have done in this life that they do to people. They are trying to run ahead of that shit, thinking that they will never have to pay for it. And they think that if they suppress you long enough, they'll escape life through death, and somebody else will have to worry about that as long as they get away from it. But the way you stop all that shit, and fuck them getting revenge and all that and worrying about what they think. But it's you worry about. You need to live just as good as they live. They are not better than you. If anything, I dare say more inferior to you, because you don't need to oppress and suppress other people to live and be a decent human being. They have everything and still can't be a decent human beings. They just, I don't know what they are, but to me, most times they're not even human, okay? So they must have you dummy down and stupid, which is why they're trying to take away education. Because in certain states, like take Florida, for example, a 16-year-old could get out of school. That's not doing a 16-year-old any justice. That's doing them a disservice. You're young, you're stupid, you're uneducated. What is your future going to look like? Absolutely nothing. Dead-end jobs, low wage earning jobs for the rest of your life, unless you sit down and make an absolutely monumental change. And most people don't do that. So they're going to be stuck in poverty, right? They know this. So that's why they're trying to pass laws. Don't let them pass it, Florida, where they could have children work overnight. Don't do that. Because what will happen is everybody knows when you do a midnight shift, you tired as fuck the next morning. And that's going to lead to more dropouts, okay? It's going to lead to more crime, whether you believe it or not, because what's going to happen is all those fucking perverts, pedophiles, and sick-ass want-to-groom children niggas, they're going to be lurking around all those work sites where all those kids are overnight. When most times in whatever city you live in, you have skeleton crews of people working overnight. So nobody's watching the way they would be watching during the day. Everything these people do are wicked and calculated. Mark my words, if Florida allows them to pass that law and children actually participate in working overnight, you're going to see more missing children because these freaks are going to start stealing these kids. They're going to end up in their basements, becoming sex slaves, being trafficked for organs and everything else, and just serial killer victims. Like, you have to be real about where you live and think about shit outside of, oh, you know, it's hard making ends meet, so I'm gonna let them go work. No, you don't. No, find another way to do it. If it means you gotta bunk up, double up with your family, double up with friends, whatever, or ask people to help supplement your way of living, do that to protect your children. Because see, everything they do is based off of old studies and just monitoring poor people. They know that when poor people have to work 2 and 3 jobs, their kids are at home alone. They're latchkey children, or something else is going on where they're not properly supervised. So all these people with sinister alternative agendas, they're banking on this shit. So don't give it to them. Now you have to really think about things, because we're not having children. All women are on the decline. Perverts like children, okay? Which is why they want to lower the age for a consent for marriage. Women, do not give consent for none of your daughters to get married as minors. That shit is crazy, okay? Because all you will be doing is destroying your child's life. Because all they believe in is trying to beat those little girls down into submission. That's their favorite word, right? Making her a servant. And then having her destroy her body by having children before her body is even ready to actually be a woman to give birth. So don't fall for that shit. All of this is a complete like boomerang to throw all the fucked up shit out to you. Let it fly a little bit in front of you. You think nothing's coming, and it boom, it hits you and fuck up everything you work for. Don't let that happen. Because when these little girls, if you have little girls, they get violated by these people because of abortion bans and all of these new laws in different states to try to oppress and suppress women. If you trying to save to buy a house or save to move out of that fucked up area or buy a new car, whatever it is you're doing, if you have a young girl and she gets pregnant, now you are taking care of another child, further prolonging everything you're trying to do for another 10 years at least. Okay? For at least another 10 years, when that child that your child is getting ready to have is able to take care of themselves partially. You know, like go to the bathroom by themselves, be a little bit responsible. You could tell them something to do and be confident that they're going to do it without damn near killing themselves or causing a fire or whatever. You understand? So don't let these motherfuckers do this to you, because they actually have people who sit around, strategize, and think about ways to derail your life. This is their fucking job in the government, okay? So don't let them do it to you. Do not. The way you do it is you keep a sharp eye on your kids. You never let them out of your sight. You always keep them protected by other people that you are confident in, that is not going to let nothing happen to them, not going to let no pedophile get next to them, not going to let nobody groom them, take them out to the back when nobody's looking and touch them all up, rope them all up, rape them up. You don't want none of that shit. And you also want to sit your ass down. Retain the information those kids have learned that day in school. And believe me, you don't got to do this on your own. Do you know how many online schools there are with black women teaching right out of their homes. So even if they dummy down school in the worst way, you have tons of people online that will teach your kids better than any school classroom could. They've been doing it for years, okay? If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, look up a lady named Marva Collins. Whenever children are in those small, intimate learning settings, they excel way past a classroom. And don't forget, right, that they're also trying to incorporate patriarchy and religion in school, trying to dictate and continue patriarchy, gender wars, superiority versus inferiority between girls and boys. You want to nip that shit in the bud too. You want to explain to your sons, don't listen to no shit that any of these men in these streets are telling you about women, anything negative. If they're talking bad about women, don't listen to them. Know that that's a stupid person. They have nothing to offer you but trying to make your life hard and cause problems for you. Believe me, it works. I was doing that to my sons ever since they were little babies. They didn't give a fuck when a dude set out in the street because they knew, because I told them, I said, they're bums. They're out in the street, don't have nothing, no education, not doing nothing because they didn't care about themselves. So now they're trying to convince you not to care about yourself, to be a bum like them. You have things to live for in this life. I have expectations of you. Go to college, do this with your life, do that with your life, this. Give them a list. Make sure they accomplish it. Check it off. I did it with mine and they fucking did it. The other thing, black women, you got to get out of that shit of thinking that you can't raise a boy to be a man, because you can. And if you isolate your sons from all of these dysfunctional black men in this world, including their fathers sometime, you're really going to see how they turn out better than the ones that are around those dudes. And do not make them weak-minded. Do not make them believe that because they don't have a father in the home, they're missing something. Always explain it to them in the real reality. That's not the type of man they want to become. He has weak properties and tendencies that make it where he's irresponsible, unreliable, and undependable. And you want the opposite in your son. You're going to have to read books on, male adolescence and they go through stages as they grow. They have a violent stage. You could curb that. Education curbs everything. You don't only educate yourself, educate him as well. So that when he sees other people acting out and being totally fucking ridiculous and trying to insult or beat down or dehumanize little girls, he would be like how my sons were. Hey, stop that. What are you doing? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And talking through it. Not throwing hands, but talking through it. Because these kids at that age, they listen to their peer group. They go through a psychological phase called a sense of belonging. So the children around them have more influence than their parents, etc., etc., etc. So you need to learn all of this so that you could have a real hold on your kids. So that even when your kids are out in the world and people try to socialize them into bullshit, it goes in one ear, out the fucking other. Believe me, I had perfected it to a science, to the point where my sons would come home and be laughing about all the crazy shit that their friends and whatnot was doing in school, and then talk about how dumb they are and how they would never have a future, da-da-da-da-da. That's what you want. You want them to have a mentality of us versus them when it comes to the dysfunctional dudes versus the functional dudes. You can only do that when their minds are strong. When their minds are weak and they feel like, oh, I'm one of the guys, I got to be on the team fighting for the image of dudes and feeling like women are doing something to us, you lost the battle already. You got to get them to see those guys like the red pillars and all these motherfucking idiots on YouTube and TikTok as the fucking enemy, as the fucking idiot they never want to grow up to be. And then you ain't gonna have no problems with them. And you have to keep clear communication and always be a living example of what you want them to be. I'm telling you, when I was talking to my children about going to college, working, they saw me doing it. So it wasn't like they could say, oh, you telling me to do something you never did. No, they saw me do it. And I was very strict on them. I did not let my children hang around with the riffraff. They didn't go outside and play with them. We ain't having none of that shit. Very structured childhood. You have to do the same. Because when you're not looking, it's some creep whispering in their ear. That's the shit you want to avoid. So that whatever these people try to set up for us, these traps to fall in, we gonna step over that shit like a dirty puddle and keep right on moving. Because it's up here. If this is strong, nothing else matters. When it's weak, everything, every trap they put out for you, you're gonna fall into. Believe me when I tell you. And that's the reason why black women are so different from black males, because we are so fucking mentally strong. It's crazy. Sometimes it's to our own detriment, but we still strong because we're not going for the bullshit. They are gullible. They love the bullshit because they want proximity and we don't. I heard somebody say it perfectly, right? I forget her name, but she's a creator on here. She said the difference between black women and black males is that black males use their maleness to try to come in close proximity to whiteness. And they are the white women of the black community because white women use their whiteness to be in close proximity to the white man's maleness. So each one of them has one component making them closer to the white man they both want to be. All right? We don't share any of those components and we don't want them. So it's like apples and oranges when it comes to us, which is why we are always the target. And also because we're the first mother of the child. So more times than not, we're going to be able to set the path our children are going to be on. And that's dictated by how you raise them, what you show them, and who you allow around them. And what most importantly, how much you educate them. Keep that in mind today. Keep your head up. Put your helmet on, get in the game, soldier this shit out because they don't win unless you give in. Later, y'all.